Welcome to Cyberpunk Tales from the Oasis. This is Episode 7, Nova Soviet Roulette. Stay tuned after the episode for another commercial from the Oasis Advertising Network, and if you're one of the poor fools trapped in the endless Pavlovian dopamine adrenaline whiplash hell site, please take a moment to follow us on Twitter, @Oasis Cyberpunk, to stick it with the corpos all week long. And now, Tales from the Oasis is proud to present Episode 7, Nova Soviet Roulette. The stench of fresh blood permeates the air around the VIP table at Flaming's Real Steakhouse. The cries for help from the tweakers echo unanswered around the penthouse dining hall. The three remaining Brokebacks stand confidently beside their seats, eyeing the ruthless efficiency of their recent mercenary hires with barely concealed amusement. One of them shifts his cowboy boots slightly out of the way of the steadily growing pool of blood underneath Reed's victim. The last of the tweakers that are there, they've either put their guns away or they are very clearly not using them. They've lowered them. Mavis, the one you just stabbed the hypodermic needle into with the tranquilizer, he looks over and sees his boss lying on the ground in a steadily growing pool of his own blood and goes, "Whoa, that's a lot of red."
It sure is, buddy. It sure is.
Cyberpunk red.
I kind of like pat him on the shoulder, trying to get him to just sit down.
As you do that, you look over at Reed, who is gleefully tearing into this guy, and you realize, as a doctor, if you don't step in right now, this motherfucker's gonna die. Another couple of gunshots go out, and one of the tweakers on the other side, the one closest to ISO, screams, hits the ground, and a hand just sort of flies past your field of vision.
Mavis makes a mental note to retrieve that hand later. But yes, did you say that one of these tweakers who is tending to Jeremy points at me? Was that right?
Yes, one of the ones that's tending to Jeremy, the dead ganger, points to you and says, "You're a doctor, right?"
Yeah, I'm a doctor, goddamn. And I'm gonna run over to Jeremy and attempt some first aid.
You run up to Jeremy and get down next to him, and he sort of blinks a little bit. Oh, turns out he's not dead.
Hey!
And kind of looks up at you, opens his mouth to try and say something, and then just coughs, and a little bit of blood comes out. You realize at this point, Jeremy is mortally wounded. A status effect in Cyberpunk Red. That means that he is less than 1 HP, and it is a difficulty value of 15 to heal back to 1 hit point. Would you like to attempt to do that?
Yeah. I have paramedic, first aid, and surgery. What am I rolling?
All of them.
Probably paramedic, right?
Paramedic, yes.
I kind of nudge the other guy and just be like, "Hold this," and I'm handing him bits just to get him to not.
You just pick up a body part and hand it him.
I want him to not be doing compressions and getting the fuck in my way. So I'm just "Hold this." Hand him his hand. And I roll at...
Mavis, could you scoot up a bit so I can actually get a good shot of you?
Oh, yeah, sure, yeah. Get in here. I'm trying to get myself a show, like that ER. And I roll myself a 20 to stabilize this boy.
All right. You pull out another air hypo or two, slam them in, and just shove them full of some adrenaline and then a tranquilizer to calm him down.
Oh, shit.
He slowly drifts off into pain-filled, panic-induced sleep.
Don't we all?
The guy next to him goes, "Oh, thank you. Oh my God, he owes me so much money." So next up in the queue is the leader, who is on the ground being sliced to ribbons. We're just gonna roll a die and see if he gets really, really lucky. Actually, I forgot, since he has less than half health, he has a -2 to all his actions, so he tries to struggle out from underneath you. He puts his arms forward and tries to army crawl forward and goes, "Guys, ah!" Next up is going to be Sadoy.
So, that person who was wanted to help Jeremy, I'm not putting this whip away until it's tasted some blood.
Oh no.
Finish him.
And I'm being paid to fuck these people over, so I'm just gonna walk up and slice this guy in half if I can. Probably miss twice.
Give it a shot.
That's a 10 and 11! What is wrong with this? Why is it not working?
Let's double check. Yeah, with their dex and evasion, their minimum is 12.
Oh no.
They're tweaked the fuck out and just like twitchily looking around. You whip it out again twice.
I'm just like, ah!
And their twitchiness, they manage to dodge both of them.
How do I keep missing this? Is it broken?
Wow, this is some great blooper footage.
Reed, you're up next. It sounds like you're kind of consumed by bloodlust. Are you going to continue slicing this guy to ribbons? Because we don't even need to roll. We can just say you coup de grace this motherfucker.
The thing with Reed is that he's like controlled aggression, so like he knows he's down now. Okay, he's got fucking claws on one hand. That's what he uses as his main weapon. But he's good enough at brawling to know that like this guy's fucked. And so as he starts crawling away, he just slams these claws, drags them along the sort of floor next to his face, and just goes, "Who's a prissy bitch now?"
Oh, yeah.
Well, the guy doesn't respond. He is a little busy choking on his own blood.
Nope, he rolls him over. "Who's the prissy bitch now?"
Jesus Christ.
He tries to say something. You realize with him on his back, the amount of blood that was coming out of his mouth is now pooling in his throat, and he is completely unable to respond. It starts dripping out of the sides of his mouth, and you realize that if you keep him on his back, nature is just gonna kind of take its course.
He just rolls him back over, stands up, looks for another target.
Okay.
Is everybody else like out of the fight now? Or are there still people shooting?
I'm still rolling.
Sadoy just took a couple of swings at some tweakers that, while they don't have their guns pointed, they're down on the ground and they just like dodge left and right, and they're kind of like nervously looking at their boss and their friend, but they're still holding their weapons. So,
like
morally.
it's just that, yeah. I think we're okay. We don't necessarily need to fight. And he just sort of stands up and puts his foot on the guy's shoulder. "You gotta fucking fight, or do you want to not? Do you want to just walk out of here alive?"
You put your foot on his shoulder and point your claws at the other people, and the ones that are still holding their guns raise their hands instinctively, dropping their weapons to the ground. One of them hits the ground, and being an old pistol, it fires off and hits the leg of the table. The combat is effectively done.
That table was 2 days from retirement.
I retract my whip because it's clearly not helped. So like it pulls back into my thumb, like, you know, when you push the button on a vacuum cleaner and the cord rolls into it.
Sure, yeah.
So that happens and the thumb closes and I'm like, well, I feel like they have to get their money's worth. Can I shoot you in the leg before you leave?
He goes, no, please, no. I might need that for... Oh, God. It hits right below his kneecap. You see the bone fracture into pieces, and he collapses face down in front of you, grabs his leg, and starts screaming.
That was for Charles.
Who's Charles? Rod and G-Man and Nico. They all stand up, and Rod starts a slow clap, which is then joined in by G-Man and Nico. And Rod says, "Well, I feel like y'all really did just an excellent bang-up job here. Didn't get too much blood anywhere, not too much other incidental damages."
Did he not see Reed? Not that much blood everywhere.
Reed just picks up the leader by the scruff of his neck and like turns him towards Rod. "I remember you lost a man, right?"
Rod walks up to him and then kneels down in front of him and says, "Now listen, in normal circumstances, when we miss a shipment like this, we would be more than happy to give you your money back and even give you a nice healthy discount on future purchases that you made for us, but unfortunately," and he looks over towards the pool of blood at the elevator and looks back and goes, "These are not normal circumstances." And he holds a hand out and he goes, "Gun, please."
Reed just sits there like holding him up.
Who is he holding out his hand toward?
Nobody in particular.
I run over. Gun. Here you go.
He takes it and looks at the SMG you're handing him, right? Or
No,
is it...
I mean the revolver that I just fired, so I just flip it around.
You flip it around, he takes it and goes, "Oh, nice revolver. It's got a good weight. You just fired one shot on this, right?"
Duh.
He goes, "Well, I think it's time we play a game my ancestors used to enjoy in the old world.
Oh, fuck.
They call this Russian roulette. You ever heard of it?" And he pops the barrel out and he starts spinning the chamber.
This is cultural appropriation, but okay, go on, I guess.
In a standard revolver, you got 6 shots. One's already been used, but in something like this, it's an 8 shot. Now, I don't know if you're particularly any good at math, but do you know what the chances are of me landing on the empty cartridge if I spin this? And the guy goes, no. Not very good. And he slams it in. Reed, the body goes limp in your hands.
Reed just like drops it, wipes his blood off his like hands, like onto his own shirts, and just sort of stands up.
He takes the pistol, flips it around, and hands it back to Sadoy and says, thank you kindly. Very much appreciate it. Y'all have done excellently. Nico, why don't you go and put some courtesy handcuffs on all our friends here? Yes, sir. Right away, sir. He gets up and pulls out a big thing of little synthoplastic zip tie handcuffs, which strikes all of you as a little weird, and he goes and he begins handcuffing all of these booster gangers. Rod steps back and sort of wipes his hands off and turns towards the party. Well, very much appreciate all of your help that you gave me today, and you kept everything safe, kept everything secure. As a appreciation, I'd like to go ahead and offer you a boon. Any small thing you need in Oasis City, find anything that's hard to get, you need to find someone, find something, you let me know. We can find basically anything and secure it for you, just as a favor, personal favor for me.
I need 42 hydroponic filters.
What? Sorry,
42 hydroponic filters.
I mean, I was expecting, like, we'd get a phone call or something from you later, but you sure you want to use it now?
Yeah, it's a good opportunity to help. I get paid for my other employer. I fix, hydroponic.
I'm gonna roll something real quick.
This is such a lame favor.
For the record, we say it in our favor, right? This isn't like one favor for all of us.
It's a favor for the group.
Oh, fuck. And he just sort of dead-eye stares at Sadoy.
Ah, fuck. Alright, folks, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I turn off the camera.
So, does any of the rest of the party have issue with Sadoy using your favor for this?
Yeah.
I'm indifferent. It's just, like, lame.
Like, Reed didn't have anything, like, specific, but it's always nice to have a favor from someone powerful.
And I'm just throwing it away immediately on a bunch of filters.
So, like, he's not happy about it.
I'm gonna turn around and just go, and if it's not too much trouble to ask, do you need that? And I point at the very dead tweaker.
Well, no, he's not dead anymore. You stabilized him.
No, the very dead tweaker.
The very dead.
The guy that just got executed.
He says, do we need the body?
Yes.
No, not particularly. You know what? I don't even want to ask.
I'm just gonna take that with
I don't even want to ask. You do whatever it is you do with that. I'm totally fine.
It's probably for the best.
As far as these filters, Fred would probably know where to... Oh, right. And he looks towards the pool of blood in front of the elevator. He goes, right. Fred is no longer with us. Well, boys, I think we're going to need a new head of fixer operations. And I think this is the perfect time, Nico, for you to step up and out of the internship role. And Nico, the youngest cowboy, his eyes go wide and goes, really? You really want me to do this, Rod? And he goes, I think you've more than proved yourself worthy. And you know what? Here's your first clients. This is a perfect opportunity. All of you folks, you seem pretty good in a firefight and clearly can take care of yourselves. If you're looking for any work in the Oasis, feel free to contact Nico. He will be able to hook you up with some sort of jobs and opportunities. As far as those filters, Nico, you're gonna get on them? And Nico says, yes, actually, I think I've got an idea. Yeah, I bet Tanya down at the club probably has some for backup storage for the club. And Rod says, well, that sounds just great. I think this is more your purview than mine, so how about you take care of that? And, well, I think we're gonna go get ourselves cleaned up. Thank you very much for coming by and sharing what you knew about what happened to our, missing property. And thank you very much for helping defend Flamin's Real Steakhouse. Your next meal will be 10% off on me.
When can I expect the 1,500?
All right, your payment. G-Man pulls out a little tablet, taps a couple of fingers onto it, and says, well, that should be added to your account relatively shortly, within the next 5 or 10 minutes. Gotta wait for the blockchain transactions to go through, but should be fine after that.
Thank you for reminding me. And I turn to one of the plastic synth cuffed tweakers and go, should I bill you or Jeremy here for the stabilization? You know, I'm a private clinic. We got costs and things.
He looks at you and just sort of shrugs, and you shrug right back and then go down towards Jeremy and grab his wrist and bring a little NFC scanner to it, and you grab his contact details for getting payment for him later.
Luckily, it was the wrist that's still attached. I'm probably gonna take his hand.
No,
as well.
it's just the wrist. It's just the wrist.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna take his hand as collateral. Yeah.
You just pick up the hand.
This so fits like the memes, you know, where it's like, oh, I can't pay for the doctor. The doctor
costs an arm and a leg. Well, I'm cheaper.
All right, so Rod and G-Man pick themselves up and brush themselves off and give you another wave, head back, and sort of gingerly step over the body of their fallen comrade, and you hear the elevator ding. Nico is beginning to take pictures of everything, and he's typing something up. All right, and let's see, we'll need to get 2 cleaners, maybe 3 cleaners in here. And he looks up and says, oh, y'all are still here. Did y'all need anything? Do you need do you happen to need a gig?
Do you have a to-go bag for this? And I point down at the dead boss.
No, we don't. I don't think we have any to-go bags that are that big.
That's fine. I'll just.
Wait, do you not even have a fucking body
I'll just
bag?
take it as it is.
You're a goddamn medic.
Yeah, no,
I mean, you are a medic. Like, surely you've got a body bag.
I've got them. I just wanted
For
to make
free.
the joke. I wanted to do the goof.
Okay, it's a good goof.
All right, you grab out a very small compressed body bag, twist it a little bit, and it begins sort of inflating to give you more room to pack the bag in there. In the couple of minutes it takes to inflate, Nico walks over to Sadoy and says, so, here's the details for Tanya. She's gonna be at the club. Have you ever been to our club before?
No, sorry, we are new to Oasis. We have been here all of one day.
Right, that's right. I forgot you. Yeah, sorry. Came in on the caravan. Shit went south. I apologize for that. Well, the place you're looking for is called the Meat Grinder, or just the Grinder for short, and he gives you some rough directions on how to get there. She should be there, well, it looks like she's probably already left by now. But she should be there sometime tomorrow after 9 p.m. Yeah, you guys should go ahead and stop by and talk to her. Any of y'all happen to be fans of hard rock music?
Only if it doesn't get me DMCA'd?
Fans.
There's an awkward pause before Reed expresses his support.
I fucking love rock music.
We're having a little music gathering get-together thing. Tomorrow is Rock Hard Night, where we're having a full lineup of rock bands. Tanya should be there. You should be able to come by and collect those filters from her. They should just be in the back. But if y'all are interested in getting another gig, there is gonna be a fella and his gaggle of beautiful ladies that are gonna be there tomorrow that could definitely use the help of diverse groups such as yourselves.
What does
What
that
would the
even
work
mean?
entail?
I don't.
What sort of job?
What?
Well, we got a nomad, a medic, a tech, right? I assume you're a tech. Saw the little thumb thing. And one of the little media guys. This actually be pretty perfect for some gig that he's been talking to me about.
Oh.
They're looking to shoot a new music video.
Oh,
I'm good with a camera.
I mean, I'm still stuck for a week at least.
Well, we are stuck in Oasis, aren't we?
I am
So-
short on cash.
That would be good for our reputation as well.
And you say this is the club where they have these filters, so
Yeah. That's where Tanya's gonna be. So you could, kill 2 aerial drones with 1 rocket-propelled grenade and just show up to the club tomorrow.
I do need cash.
All right, well, perfect timing. I'm gonna go ahead and get this all set up. Are you good with your body bag and transporting of that there
Oh
corpse?
yeah, I'll be fine. I've dragged more bodies than this at once. This is like a normal Friday night for me.
Well, I love your attitude. We're definitely gonna have some work for you in the future. Well, I'm gonna get these cleaners done, and I'm sure y'all have had quite a day and could definitely use some rest and some
that'd be
good
lovely.
shut-eye. Let me go ahead and charter you a vehicle to get back home.
I thank you kindly.
And he types a couple of things. He says that should be arriving here pretty shortly at the front desk. So Yeah. Please leave at your earliest convenience.
Yep.
Bye.
That's what Reed takes that
All
as time
right.
to go.
See ya.
Nothing more for you here. So you walk back towards the elevator and step over the corpse of the fallen person.
I give that body like just a little like longingful eye as we walk past it, but I've already got one and I don't need, more than one at once. It's just tricky.
I don't need two bodies.
Too many corpses. Too many corpses.
Too many corpses.
Too many corpses.
So as you're walking towards the elevator, you step over the body of the last Brokebacks person, and as you do, someone nudges it with their foot, and his coat kind of goes back a little bit, and you see the glints of some shiny shit in his pockets.
Ooh.
Now, that being said, Nico is still here and still, preparing to get rid of these bodies and clean everything up, and I would say it's pretty common knowledge that people get a little upset when you loot the bodies of their friends.
I'm good. I've already got
I don't care.
my loot.
Okay. Do you want to try and hide it at all, or are you just gonna?
Yeah. I'm gonna try and be sneaky, but not too sneaky. This guy is just an intern. He's probably not that good.
He was described as the rising star, if I do remember.
This wasn't the intern.
Not anymore. He's been promoted. Sidoy, you lean down and begin rifling through his pockets.
Yeah.
Okay. Rolling 3 rolls and then comparing it against my data sheet for 1d100 things that you could find in a mercenary's pockets, because this is way easier than making stuff up.
I love your tables.
The first thing you find is by pulling his coat back, you see that he's actually got a weapon strapped to his side that you recognize immediately, Sidoy, as being a microwaver, an exotic weapon worth 500 eddies.
Yep, that's mine now. I needed another gun anyway.
The second thing you find is a little tech card thing. It basically looks like a card skimmer. So, Sidoy, can I get a basic tech roll from you?
Well, it's a critical success. That's a 32.
Holy shit. Okay.
Oh, sorry, that's a 34.
You take this credit card thing that you did and you flip it over and you examine it, and with your exceedingly technical skills, you immediately identify what it is. It is not a skimmer, it is a price override module for a vending machine. Ooh. You could basically plug this in to any sort of vending machine, and it will override the prices and make everything free.
Well, that's pretty rad.
Booze on Sidoy.
It does require a tech roll in order to remove and be able to keep its use, but it will work at least once.
Well, it definitely went to the right person if it requires a tech roll. So,
so it's probably past midnight at this point. And you head downstairs, and sure enough, Nico has gotten you a vehicle. It's a nice-ish vehicle. You all get in. It is automated, of course, and has your destination in mind, which is odd because you didn't actually tell Nico where you were going, but it's already set. It takes you directly to your apartment building.
So, Sidoy.
There?
So I noticed you made an agreement for our services, yes?
Duh? What do you want?
I wouldn't mind my cut.
Well, you should have negotiated to get paid then.
No. What I heard was you negotiated for us. And then we provided the services. You did the negotiations perfectly.
You volunteered to kill people. I got hired.
No, we got hired.
I think Reed's got a point here, Sidoy.
What I'm saying is that I saw you fire one fucking shot, and you didn't even hit. I tore a man practically in fucking half.
Well, no, I did hit.
I mean, there was also the fun thummy thing.
Okay, well, I suppose you are. I'm outnumbered here in terms of guns. And you make a fair point. Let me check if the money has come into my account.
It has.
Yes, I think it has, probably.
It's been split up and sent to each person's account individually. Each person has 375 eddies in their account now.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
Never mind. Woo! Money!
Oh, never mind. I guess they he already assumed it was
See?
for all of us.
Does that make us a team?
Yes, it does.
Are we a team now? Is that how this works?
We're at least apartment mates.
Roommates.
Apartment mates.
Maybe not team, but I guess if I had to work with someone, I don't know anyone else here.
And hey, you got the favor in the end. You say you've got a client already in Oasis. Is that what you came here for?
Duh, I have to fix hydroponic system.
Oh yeah, I caught something about that the other day.
Otherwise,
today.
everyone in Oasis will starve to death.
Oh, well, that's quite bad. I think that's probably a good use of our favor if it's going to stop everyone starving to death.
Yes, it also is how I get paid,
Right.
so more important.
Fair. I'm gonna get myself paid with this fella right here, and I pat the body bag. I don't know how it is in Oasis, but
You're not storing that in your hotel room, are you?
oh, he won't stay whole for long. But I don't know how it is in Oasis City, but back in that city, you break down a man like this, and you get yourself paid by the end of it. That's what I'm
By
saying.
the way, Mavis, you were talking about maybe wanting to stream, right? Maybe starting out.
I mean, I could do. I wanted to get myself, like, maybe not streaming, but I wanted to, like, star in one of those ER shows, you know. I think I've got a face for well, radio probably, but,
I mean, if you need help, I can get you started. You could be like Mavis, the parasocial medic or something, you know?
Oh, I love that. Yeah, that's a good tagline. You want to start with, like, a live autopsy? I'm going to find out just how fucked up this guy is.
Oh, damn, that would be sick. But not in the positive way.
Yeah.
Well, suit yourself.
So you happen to know that there is definitely a market for things like that. It doesn't pay super well, though.
But yeah, I mean...
Look, I'll even let you, like, gallbladders aren't worth that much. I'll let you, like, what is it, 360 no-scope it into the bin, if you want.
I mean, that could be a, donation incentive for your viewers, I guess. But, you know what? If this works out, you need my help, help don't come for free, 10% cut,
That sounds good.
maybe 30, 40,
I don't know a
60
whole
maybe,
lot.
whatever works for you.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I don't know anything about streaming. I know about cutting this folk up,
All right, I'm good at cutting up footage.
At this point, the vehicle has arrived at your apartment building, and everyone gets out of the vehicle. Mavis, you grab the body and just sling it over your shoulder. Your body bag is luckily still holding together and is pretty leak-proof at this point, so you're not
That's good,
leaving a trail of blood to your apartment.
People goop. The medical term is people goop.
You're not leaving a trail of people goop. And everyone goes up to their apartments, gives each other a nod or a wave as you all head in for a good night's sleep. Hopefully.
After that scene,
Oh, I might be up a little while.
All right, so before everyone goes to bed, Mavis, can you explain exactly what your plan is with this body?
not exactly,
well,
Are you
please.
going full Dexter here? or
Pretty much.
what's
Mavis is, as we know, grew up back in combat zones and in Night City, parts for fixing up her friendly neighborhood gangers were difficult to come by, so she has taken to scavenging wherever necessary. Mavis is essentially going to break down for parts this guy. She doesn't have a lot of, like, cold storage with her. Like, she wasn't really planning on staying that long. But she'll do what she can do, and then...
You do have a refrigerator in your apartment.
Oh, well, that'll do. I mean, it won't keep stuff, like, mint condition, but this guy's probably not mint condition already, Yeah, she's gonna break him down for parts, kind of expertly like a butcher. There are a few things that Mavis is good at, but the body and... and cutting of bodies is one thing she's very good at.
What sort of role do you think you would want to use for that? Paramedic doesn't seem right.
Yeah, I have surgery. Now, I don't know if butchering and surgery come under the same thing. The guy's already dead, but it would be using the same skills.
Okay. Yeah, we could see it as a surgery role.
I give you one of those. That's a 13. Hey!
Ooh, ouch.
I guess I need to roll another one. That's a crit fails. Do I need to roll another one for that?
All right, yeah, go ahead and roll another d10.
Okay, there we go. So that's a 10 total.
Jesus Christ. All right, so So a 10 brings the difficulty value to simple, something most people can do without thinking, but which might be hard for a small child. So here's what ends up happening. You take the body and you lay it out on top of a table. You pull out your little laser. It's a laser cutter. It's not a bone saw. We're not animals here.
Well,
you pull out your laser cutter and are going through the individual limbs because you don't recognize a lot of this text, so you're not really sure what can be recovered. But you do know that you have limited storage space.
yes.
So you go ahead and you cut off the left and the right arm at about, let's say, halfway up between the elbow and the wrist. You cut off the left arm, you cut off the right arm, and you don't seem to be cutting or destroying any sort of important parts. So you just set those aside and you begin work on the feet. But as you begin cutting the feet off, it turns out this person had a set of cyberware that allowed them to jump very, very high, and you accidentally cut through the spring. And whenever it does, the foot just rockets off and goes across the room, slamming into your TV and breaking it.
Well, that's don't see that every day.
Did we hear that?
Huh.
Yeah. The other leg
Did our neighbors
goes
hear
about
that?
the same way. You try and keep the spring from breaking off, but it doesn't. And this foot goes out the window with a shatter.
Well,
So you have two dismembered arms that still have cyberware inside of them, but they're not really cut up in any sort of way that you can harvest it at the moment. That'll probably be something you'll have to do tomorrow. But
Yeah,
you
that's
definitely
fine.
have enough room in your freezer for these two severed arms.
yeah, I'm gonna store those and probably work away at trying to salvage some organs. Although by the sounds of it, with those terrible rolls and the amount of shredding they were done, I suspect there's not much left salvageable torso-wise.
You can work for the rest of the evening and attempt to do
That's
it. And
my
at the
plan,
end of
yeah.
this, we'll have you roll a medicine roll.
Cool.
Actually, just go ahead and roll the surgery roll right now, and we'll see if you get it.
Yeah, okay. That one's a 15.
15. Let's see. You managed to salvage one cybernetic improved liver.
Ooh. That makes sense for
That's-
Drug Boy to have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
This has been episode 7 of Cyberpunk Tales from the Oasis, Nova Soviet Roulette. Thanks for listening. We've got another word from the Oasis Advertising Network, so stay tuned for that. But first, you've been immersed in the sounds of the Oasis for 7 episodes, but have you ever wondered what the Oasis looks like? Check out our Patreon at patreon.com/talesfromtheoasis for character and NPC portraits, concept art, and other visual goodies completed long after this airs. And finally, we've heard your questions about the blue chips. What are they? How do they work? Why do you keep mentioning them? And so on. Well, wonder no longer. Here's a special word directly from Callum Industries that should answer all of your questions.
The Oasis is happy to announce the date of the public beta for the decentralized mental neural processing chips, or as many of you know them, the blue chips. But what is the decentralized mental and neural processing chip, and how much can it really help? Well, here's the inventor of the blue chip, Baxter Callum, to explain.
What is the blue chip? Well, in short, it's the most significant advancement to humanity since the invention of the very first human-machine Neuralink. During an investigation into low worker morale, we discovered that during a regular day, an average Oasis citizen suffers from unwanted or intrusive thoughts for over 15% of their total cognitive load. Basically, 15% of the time your brain's working, it's working against you. Thanks to the fine work of some of the Oasis's best and brightest, we've managed to completely eliminate this defect of humanity. Using a simple automated AI thought matrix detection algorithm, during the calibration phase, the blue chips are able to automatically detect, catalog, and add your intrusive and unwanted thoughts to a rejection filter, keeping your thoughts firmly in your control.
Come apply to join the Blue Chip Initiative and make your brain work for you. By Callum Industries.